Okay, this is a harder example. So f of x is sec of x. Okay, so again what you need to do, draw a circle. Okay, O M P. So now what is sec x? Sec of x is equal to, so O of M by O of P. So now let's see what happens. OM by OP. Okay, so in 0 to pi by 2 what happens? So if you see here, so OM by OP. So OM is just the radius, so it is always A. So OP, now we just have to look at OP. So OP, when x is very small, it is 0, so OP will be equal to OM, and it will be, OP will be A when x is equal to 0. So sec of 0 is equal to A by A. So what happens? Sec x is A by A, so it is equal to 1 sec of 0. Then what happens if you see, so as x increases, so let's see, so when x is increasing, so what happens? This is M dash P dash, so OP is decreasing as x increases from 0 to pi by 2. So this is becoming smaller, and hence what happens? OM by OP, OM is constant and OP is now becoming smaller. So sec x is increasing in 0 to pi by 2. And what happens at x is equal to pi by 2? So OP almost becomes 0, so it tends to 0, and hence what happens? Sec of pi by 2 is infinity. Okay, this is equal to infinity, tends to infinity there, so asymptotic. And hence what happens if we draw the graph? So at 0 we saw sec x was 1, and at pi by 2 it is now becoming infinity. Okay, so it is becoming infinity at pi by 2. Now let's say, what is it between 0 and minus pi by 2? So in 0 and minus pi by 2, so again we see that, okay, this, so this is MP. So what happens, that now again this OM is constant and OP is now from pi by 2 to pi, it is increasing. Okay, pi by 2 to pi, what is happening? And in fact we are looking here, so let's see, so we are looking here, so from 0 to minus pi by 2 what happens? If this is the case, so what happens? That OP is now again as from 0 to minus pi by 2, so OP is gradually decreasing. Okay, so at 0 it was again equal to A, and at minus pi by 2 it's becoming 0 again. So what happens? So this will be a symmetric around this, so this will be the graph. Okay, for minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. And what will happen between pi by 2 to pi? So again this OM is now increasing. Okay, and it becomes equal to OP at pi. So something like this happens here at pi. So this is the, okay, and let's see if, okay, so this is not the case here. Okay, you have to delete this one, this is a little bit wrong, in fact wrong. So here what happens is, this here it was positive OP, but in this part it is becoming negative, and hence this will be something like here, okay, something like this, from pi by 2 to pi, okay. So at pi it will be something like -1, okay. And again if you see from pi to 3 pi by 2, so what will happen here? So this is -1, and here again it will be as OP now it is, so this is greatest here when at pi, and it will be now becoming, OP will be decreasing, and hence at 3 pi by 2 again it will be going something like this. So this is the graph for sec x, okay, and this was for tan x, and this is for sin x. So if you use this circle, then it will become much easier. Only thing you have to see is how are these values changing, OM, OP, how are they varying, okay. So and MP, so these things you have to check. So I hope you understand this. Thanks a lot.